Hey guys, have you got a light like this, an exterior LED light that has two different color chips in there that can do two different colors, but unfortunately only does the white like this, which is an awesome light. It lights up all the areas, but the only problem with it, it attracts bugs. So would you like it to do this? Either the option to be off or orange, so it doesn't attract the lights. Stick around and I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so on this Caravan there's a switch inside that actually switches on a light here, a light there, and a light there, plus the actual lighting inside the stairwell. These lights are awesome at night. You know, they light up the whole area, but the only downfall is it attracts bugs if there's heaps of bugs around. Now, I purchased this Caravan brand new, but I didn't get it built, so it kind of come with the only option, which was the white one. And I've tried to research the hell out of it, try and figure out how I can actually have the option of the orange, and I just can't figure it out. The only way to do it is obviously running new wires back to the switch back in here, but as you can imagine, it's a brand new Caravan. You want to start ripping stuff apart to put one wire in there. So I came up with my own sort of idea. I mean, I looked around, I couldn't find anybody else that sort of suggested it, but basically I'm going to put little switches on them so that they can switch between the two different colors, the white and the orange. So stick around and I'm going to show you how to do it. You don't really have to have a lot of skill, but you know, if you've got some basic sort of tools and a bit of knowledge, you know, we can get it done. But it's definitely been the best way for me. That way I can actually have best of both worlds, and actually I can turn them off if I want to too, which is quite a good option. So alright, let's get into it. Okay, I only need a couple of things really to do this, and one of them especially is the switch. It's a 3-position switch, so you can flip it up, flip it down, or put it in the center. Center is off, and the other two are the different color lights. So pretty much just got to solder 3 wires onto these little terminals, and then what I've been doing is heat shrinking them as well. Heat shrinking them is pretty easy. You just chop the heat shrink off and just heat it up with a lighter or whatever heat source you've got, just to basically it just protects the wires from shorting out from each other. Pretty easy to do, guys, don't be scared of that. And then once you've done all that, you're right to go. You start putting it into the light. Alright, when we're doing some work on your 12 volt, any 12 volt in your Caravan, make sure you just turn off that. You can also unplug your 240 volt, but it really doesn't matter because this is your isolator for your 12 volt. So if you're working on 12 volt, make sure you turn that off. Okay, we want to remove this light. This essentially is two screws and a bit of silicone on the top. Just be careful removing that silicone, you know, with a knife or something like that. You don't want to damage your Caravan. And then there's 2 wires, a black and a red in this case. Black's your neutral, red is your positive, and we want to disconnect them or chop them. So just a tip though, so tape up those wires so they don't fall back into the hole. Yeah, and obviously you've turned off your power, so you're good to go. Okay, so I've taken them off. Unfortunately, the manufacturer, they cut them really short, so it's still doable, but it would have been nice if they kept it a little bit longer. So yeah, pretty much what the plan is to have a little switch out here. So to do that, just need to drill a hole on the side here, get the wires through, and then we'll join it into here. Okay, switch is installed. I had to trim out a little bit of metal there for it to fit, just the wires. So you just want to make sure that, you know, when you do your measurements for drilling that hole, that it you know, it's going to sit flush, so it's not going to stick out. But essentially sort of looks like that. We still have to put our nut on there and also the weatherproof little boot, but essentially, yeah, that was pretty easy. It didn't take that long. You just take that little bit of metal out there, drill a hole. It was pretty easy. It doesn't affect the stability of the light or anything, like that's nothing really. Just took it out. Yeah. Okay, so pretty much ready to rock and roll, put it back on. So essentially, you know, when you flick it up like that, it sends power down this wire, which goes to any color you want. Turn it off, and then also that position sends it to the other color. So it's really just 3 wires, you know. Your top wire there can be your orange or your white one. The middle one there is just your main 12 volt positive wire. And then your bottom wire there is
your other colour. And then what I did is obviously one of those wires is going to your red one, which is your white colour. The other wire is going to the blue one, the blue wire that's in there, and that does the other colour. Unfortunately, the manufacturer cuts the wire so damn short that I had to put a joint in here. So, you know, if they could just leave a bit of slack, it would be really nice, because they, you know, just assuming that no one else is going to be in there. But, you know, you're obviously going to play with stuff in the future. So that's pretty much it. There is a neutral in there. You could have kept that connected from the Caravan, like from the Caravan wire straight to there. You could have kept it connected, but I chose to chop the red wire and the black wire so I could bring it down here on my workbench. But yeah, you could have kept that black wire still connected and you didn't need to chop it, but I chopped it and I'm just going to extend it. So that's my neutral there. So that just is always connected. That doesn't go to any switch or anything. That's purely just a neutral for the light. This is our main positive for the 12 volt. That's going to go straight into your center section there, and the other two is just your lights. It's actually quite easy. It probably looks slightly confusing, but it's actually quite easy. It's just essentially just two wires that come out of here. They go to your two colours, your red wire and your blue wire. The black one is your neutral. That just goes, you know, straight back, doesn't go to any switch. That's it. All right, let's hook it up. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So you got your positive and your neutral coming out. Neutral just goes straight into the light. Positive goes into the center part of the switch, and then your two wires just come off to the, you know, your two different colors, which is your red and your blue. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'm just going to screw this back on. So light is on. All we've got to do is just put a little weatherproof boot on there. You could also silicone just a little bit inside that hole if you wanted to, just to make a little bit weatherproof. But yeah, we just got to put this boot on. Alright, so now we've got the 3-position switch on. Time to do some testing, eh? Okay, so I've got the outside lights on white at the moment. Obviously a little bit glary because it's night time. But yeah, okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this off and put it on orange. Alright, just like that. That's orange. I've just got to do the other two. So I've made up 3 switches and I just need to do the other 2, but I'm super stoked with that. And all it was is just a little switch, so you can actually turn it off on there too. And you saw it, so you can actually turn them off or change colours, whatever you want. Awesome. And the beauty about doing it this way is, you know, because when I go remote camping, and you really want the white lights on to light up your whole area. But you know, if you're going to get into a place where there's a lot of bugs, you obviously want the orange. So I like both, and I didn't want to choose between one or the other, so hence why I've done it myself.